What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Trout Wrangler Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Garrity. That there is my dog, Maverick. He's been back here every episode. It's really cool. He's been chilling. It's good to have somebody in here and kind of have like a little show coordinator. I call him the vibes curator. But, he just chills back there, does what dogs do, sleep, play with bones. He's got a big Mahi toy back there that he likes. But that's him, Maverick, Mr. Mav, Ricky. We got about 18,000 different nicknames for that man. But we got a really cool episode today. We have a really special guest, very talented, on to kind of like tell his whole story, how he started, what he's doing, and I feel this is going to be a very interesting episode, for great reasons. But Mr. Paul Puckett from Charleston, South Carolina, is going to be on here to tell his story. But before we get into that, go to riversmith.com to save 10% on all of your orders. Use the code Wrangler10. Go pick you up a river quiver, protect all your rods during travel. Go get you a Convoy Series bag, dude. Those are awesome. The new 45 hauler, just an unbelievable duffel bag. They have an actual duffel bag in the Convoy Series that's really good. I've seen a lot of people in airports with them, protecting their rods, reels, whatever it may be. Might have to pick one of those up here soon because I will be going to Arizona in December, so gonna have to pick one of them up. But like I said, Wrangler 10 at checkout saves you 10% on anything at the Riversmith website. But until then, Mr. Paul Puckett. What's up, guys? Like I said in the introduction, we do have an interview, and I think a very interesting one at that. It's just to get a different side of the industry that very much so intrigues me. I'll kick it over to you, Paul, to introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. Paul Puckett here, and I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, and I've been here in Charleston for about, I think, 12 and a half, 13 years, and just enough to agree with all the people how there's too many people here. I'm one of the problems, so I can't blame anyone but myself. Charleston's gotten super crowded, but it's a beautiful place to live. I love living here. And I kind of took a pretty big, well-rounded path to get here. I left Texas in 2000 and went to Jackson, Wyoming. I lived there for 4 years, and then moved to Atlanta for some crazy reason. And then when I was in Atlanta, I was always coming here to Charleston. I was starting to get very fascinated with saltwater fishing. The person I was with back in the Atlanta days, she had a coastal home on Cumberland Island, which was super remote and very cool. And so I was starting to learn the tides and the redfish and just the fishery in general. And I just wasn't there enough to do that. And then I started going to Charleston a lot. A lot of my friends from the Jackson Hole days lived there. And also Seaweed, the Southeastern Wildlife Exposition art show accepted me the first time I applied for it. So that's what started bringing me to Charleston. And then finally one day I was working at the Fish Hawk in Atlanta. And I just decided that I couldn't wish I was in Charleston anymore. And I had a buddy opening up a fly shop here. And it was just the perfect marriage in timing of everything to work part-time at the fly shop and continue my art path that I had already been on for about 10 years at the time.
I got you. Dude, yeah, Atlanta. Dude, so do you more side with Atlanta sports teams or Texas sports teams?
Oh, Texas, for
Texas.
sure.
I got you.
I kind of became a somewhat of a Braves fan living in in Atlanta, because, I'm a Rangers fan, but I'm allowed to have a National League team. So,
Oh yeah.
And growing up in Dallas, I watched the Cubs and the Braves, so it wasn't that huge of a leap to become a Braves fan. So I still keep my eye on them. I definitely wish for the best for them, unless they're playing the Rangers, of course.
Yeah, tough year for the Braves this year though.
Well, yeah, and it was not a great year for the Rangers, but it's starting to dwindle. It's the dream is dying very fast.
Dude, I'll tell you what though, man, the powder blue, I think they're the City Connect Rangers jerseys.
Yeah,
That has to be one of the best jerseys in the league.
yeah, I love it too. And that was a pretty prominent jersey back in the '70s, and that's kind of their alternate third jersey, aside from that City Connect thing that they do. Are you a Braves fan, being in Charlotte?
No, I'm a Red Sox fan, so I'm part
Uh,
of the problem of the Carolinas getting too crowded too. I grew up in New England.
okay,
Yeah, so
gotcha.
big
Well, I've
time
got a
Red
buddy
Sox
here.
fan.
I got a buddy here, Ben Young. It's a big Red Sox fan, and I know they've had a couple little stumbles here, but I think they won last night. They had a pretty good, like, rough 5 game streak, but yeah, I think they're going to make it. They're going to be
I do
okay.
too. I hope they do, man. They're due for it. They're due
Yeah,
for it.
for
But
sure.
let's get into some fishing, man. You kind of already went over it a little bit, but where and when did your fishing journey start? And have you always been local to Charleston, or did it start somewhere else?
Yeah, so my fishing started just about like most of the people you talk to, granddad, and my parents are from East Texas. I grew up in Dallas, but they moved to Dallas after my dad got a teaching job. But I'd live my summers in Tyler with my grandparents, and both granddads would kind of fight over me about, I'd stay with one for 3 or 4 days and the other with 3 or 4 days. Oh, he went fishing with the other one, so I got to take it. So these granddads kind of fought over me as far as who's going to take them and catch the bigger fish. It was a perfect situation for me. So that's kind of how I learned my love of fishing. And anytime I wanted to go fishing, we'd be fishing. So it was perfect bass fishing out in East Texas. And then I would say my granddad, one of the granddads, would always end the day with grabbing his fly rod and just for 15, 20 minutes before he knew we were going to leave, he would just get that fly rod out and throw that little popping bug and catch some brim and bass. And I was just totally taken by that motion. And I knew it was such a different world from the cork and the worm and the plastic worm and it was a totally different world from what I was doing. And he told me that I had to master, throwing a bait caster first before he would teach me how to throw that fly rod.
Yeah.
And then when he died in 1988, I still hadn't thrown the fly rod, so I knew that it was like my time to do it and learn on my own. And that's when I was like 12 or 13. So that's when it started for me. I remember, in like middle school, they'd have the book fairs and you'd order like your 10 books.
Oh yeah.
I remember I ordered 2 that had something to do with fly fishing, and they were so detail oriented. I still have the book, and I remember just looking at the pictures. I don't think I read a single sentence out of it, but it just totally overtook me. And then the Bass Pro catalog started showing up with the White River Fly Shop section in it.
Oh yeah.
The fact that you could like make a fly out of all these materials, the whole thing just overtook my life, and I was so fascinated with it. So I kind of started with just catching bass and brim, kind of like I used to watch my granddad do, and that was kind of the genesis of my fly fishing world.
I got you, dude. Tyler, Texas. That
That's it.
that's some dang good football around there,
Yeah,
and good
yeah,
bass fishing. I know.
yeah. Like Tyler Junior College is a good junior college. I went there my first year to try to play baseball, and I learned real quick that I wasn't cut out for it. I was a walk on, and that didn't last very long. I cut myself before I
Oh
had to go
man.
run 4 miles every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah, the hell with that, man. I'd rather
Yeah,
run 4 miles, 400 miles on a boat than run 4 miles
yeah.
on my 2 feet.
I had never run 4 miles in my life, much less the next 2 weeks every day. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's nuts,
so
dude.
that lasted that long. But yeah, bass fishing out in East Texas, it was great.
Oh yeah, we used to go there for I bass fished in college actually at East Carolina,
Oh,
and
okay.
we
Pirates.
yes sir we used to go down there sometimes, or some guys on our team would. I never had the money to drive all the way out to Texas, but it's like you always
Yeah.
watched the like you probably grew up watching it, the Bassmaster Classic
Oh
with the
yeah,
series guys.
for
They're
sure.
down there on like Conroe and Sam
Yep.
Rayburn and all that, just
Yeah.
heaven down
We
down
mainly
there.
did Lake Fork, Lake Palestine, and then in college, Ray Roberts.
I
Fished Ray
got you.
Roberts a lot.
Yeah, Ray
But
Roberts
yeah,
is pretty good. So
for
you
sure.
shared how your art began as a kid, like doodling comics, and evolved through like school years into trout paintings, and eventually like fly fishing art. What was that transition like?
Yeah, so right around the same time of me discovering fly fishing, I was I was very much interested in getting better at art. I mean, that 10 to 12 range when every kid is an artist. I mean, when you grow up, like my daughter right now, 4.5 years old, she may someday not want to be an artist at all, but right now she's so entrenched with coloring, drawing. So as a kid, you're always kind of into that, boys and girls. And I think around the age of 8 or 10 is kind of where you taper out of caring about that, probably, if I had to guess. But I was 12, 13, and still totally into art. I loved it. I wanted to get better at it. And then the fishing aspect of it made me start studying other artists that were doing fishing, like Eldridge Hardy, Mike Stidham, Mark Cicino. And I was like, man, I can do that. Like, why can't I do that? These people are doing it. And there was a gallery in Dallas called Collector's Covey right by the school my elementary school in Highland Park Village, and I would go in there all the time and look at this art, and it totally just took me away. And so all my art projects in middle school and high school started being fishing based related projects, and my teachers were cool enough to let me do that. They would try to steer me off that path. Now, I'm not saying when we had to do like a figure art, like draw a person, I wouldn't turn them into a fish or something. But anytime a project was kind of up to us to do whatever we wanted, it would usually be some sort of fishing based project.
That's pretty cool, man. Like you're talking about all the other artists and studying. I think it's pretty cool how you guys have like kind of like a little community now,
Yeah,
where it's like
for sure.
I think it was like I think I saw like a couple months ago like Eric Estrada was like getting kind of duped by another artist, and
Hmm.
everybody went and posted like you, Travis Luther, were talking about it and be like,
Yeah,
hey, this guy like, which
yeah,
that's crazy. Has that like does that actually happen a ton like in that
yeah,
industry?
yeah, for sure. This industry, you can't go anywhere without seeing some sort of creative effort behind a product or Instagram. Like there's fly fishing art illustration everywhere, and we all kind of have to stick together. There's no competition. There are a couple people that think it's a competition, but those people are kind of on the outside. They don't really have the community that we have. And whenever someone does steal or quote unquote steal or borrow a concept or some sort of certain style, it sticks out. It's very obvious.
Oh yeah.
Because I think we all study each other's stuff. I look at Travis's stuff. He's on a roll right now. Eric as well. Like I can tell Eric's stuff from a mile away. Uh, Danforth is doing a lot of good stuff too. Like we know each other's stuff. So whenever someone comes in from the outside and kind of takes something, it's very obvious and clear, and we have to kind of protect that because it's already hard enough to make a living as an artist in general, much less in the fly fishing world. And so we could definitely have to help each other out in that regard.
Yeah, I got you, man. Dude, like, and it was crazy that he picked Eric to like dupe like
Oh, I know.
it's crazy. It's crazy
Yeah.
because it's like he has that very distinct like. I had a long talk with him about this when he was on, where he's got like that Miami flair to it, where he's got like the different, like the pretty cool, crazy colors and all that stuff.
Yep.
But I think that's pretty cool. But I was like, that's crazy that somebody tried to do it. And then all you guys went after. I was like, that's pretty sick. I was like, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I don't even know if I'm familiar with the situation you're talking about, but I've seen it happen so many times that it's definitely not a new thing. I did some concepts 10 years ago with just different characters holding fish and that whole thing, and other people started doing it, and people were like, "People are copying you." I'm like, I can't stop people from having an idea, like a certain character from a movie or something, and holding a fish. Like that's
yeah,
not copying me. That's just kind of starting a new trend, is all that is. And there's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing I want to do about it. Now, if you're going to grab the same character and the same idea I had and call it the same thing, like a guy did about 8, 9, 10 years ago, and I called him out on it, and he just was like, "I'm doing this. I don't care what you say." I'm like, "All right, fine, do it." And he went on to start his own little company, and the company, of course, had a very similar title to Flood Tide Company, and whatever. It's just some people have to do their thing, and that's let them. But they're going to burn somewhere for it someday. So
oh yeah,
whatever. It
always,
keeps me doing
exactly.
new stuff and thinking ahead anyway.
Oh yeah, dude, it's hell. Karma will hit him in the ass when they're coming out the door.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 10 steps ahead of him, so he can do what he wants. He's still doing his little simplistic thing these days, but whatever.
But like so your big break came when you were helping open a fly shop that kind of sparked your career in art. Uh, do like I see this with like even like fly tying and stuff like that. What's that transition like from that mindset to where it's like this is a hobby to taking it professional?
As far as art goes,
Yeah,
yeah, sometimes I still do things within it that are a hobby, something that I know that wouldn't sell, or like I definitely have to figure out that balance of, okay, I'm going to put my time towards something that sells in order to not waste my time. But there are times where I just want to waste time and have fun and experiment and goof around. And a lot of times I'm sitting there doing that. I'm like, I'm totally wasting my time. What am I doing? But it's, I mean, I feel like I got off track from the question, but what was the original question? My mind is a little.
so so it was how did that like how did the moment of you helping out in the fly shop like that sparked your career? How did that
Oh,
moment
okay, yeah, yeah,
shift? Yeah, there you go. It's all
yeah.
good.
And that's one thing too. Ever since 1994 of me working in a fly shop, when I started having the first thing I ever did commercially was catch and release paintings, where someone came in, they caught a 20-inch cutthroat. I got one right here. This wasn't planned, but I did have it right here.
Oh
So,
dang.
um, like the idea is, instead of mounting a fish, I can paint that fish exactly like the photo. You told me it was 20 inches, so I paint. So that's the one thing that got me started. That's the first thing I started doing for people, and that was back in Dallas, back in 94, 95. And I had a guy named Bill Wiggins catch a huge, like, Atlantic salmon. I mean, the thing was like 40 inches or something. No, it wasn't 40, whatever. But the point is, it was a big one, and that was the first one where I'm like, man, I could really keep doing this. So as long as I worked in fly shops, I would advertise that, and so anyone that walked in those doors that just came back from a trip was a potential customer. So I started having paintings that I would do paintings on my own and put them on the wall. So working in the fly shop definitely gave me the stability to be able to have this thing on the side as a hobby and then turn it into a little side money. And it's definitely a big difference between when you decide to take it from a hobby to a career. You got to keep pushing and keep coming up with ideas. You got to keep doing the stuff that brought you here, like these catch and release paintings. And I don't do as many anymore, but I've turned it into doing more pieces that I do for myself that might be in the gallery, like this one behind me right here.
Yeah.
Like that's more of a kind of a gallery kind of piece right there.
Yeah.
That's Flat Creek.
Oh,
So
that's super cool.
yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. But it just, you definitely have to maintain doing fresh new stuff to make it interesting while also maintaining the things that brought you here and the things that will put a little money in your wallet to pay bills.
Right.
So,
Dude, I think that's super cool, your idea with painting like somebody's catch. Dude, because it's like it's so expensive. I didn't realize how expensive it was until we went to Hawaii on my senior when I graduated high school. We went to Hawaii to do a bill fishing trip. And I was like, damn, I kinda want to mount that marlin I caught.
yeah,
And I asked the captain, I was like, how much would it be to get that mounted and ship it back to North Carolina? And he'd be like, oh, that'd probably be about 10 grand.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh my God. That's when I
Oh
didn't
man,
really know much about the fishing game there. And I was
yeah,
like, man, I wish there would be like another way for me to remember catching that first marlin than like
yep,
having to get it mounted and shipped for
yeah.
for an arm and a leg.
Well, and aside from just the price of it, I was also marketing to women. Women and wives and girlfriends don't want some dead fish on their wall, essentially. So I would market it like, tell your wife it's a painting. Like you're gonna have a painting on the wall, and everyone's kind of happy, and that is true. That's kind of how it worked.
I'm gonna show that clip right there to my girlfriend because
Yeah,
I've been begging her for when I kill a deer to put it on my wall. So now that's what
yeah.
I'm gonna do is just get a painting done
Hey,
of it.
that's a good idea as far as painting a deer. I've never done that, but that is a good idea. That would be cool to recreate the rack and everything.
Oh yeah, I'll send it your way whenever I kill one this season.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
But so it's pretty like it's like we're kind of just talking about. It's cool to see you paint clients' catches with like without a mount. It's super creative. Like
Hmm.
how did that spark? How'd that spark in your head? My bad. Now, that was
Yeah,
such a horrible way to ask that question.
no, it's a good question because I don't know that I ever had the idea for it at the time, but there was a guy, and I wish I remembered his name because this is right in that like 1988, 89 time frame, and maybe I read an article about it in like a fly fishing magazine, but he was out of Montana doing that, and then I think he was a guest on one of the fly fishing shows, and I was pretty sure it was Walker's Cay Chronicles, and they had like a little thing about this guy painting people's fish, and in my mind, I was like, well, I could do it better than that, and that's how I started doing it.
That's
I'm
pretty
not going to
cool.
say I was the first one to do it, but I wish I had a photo of the first one I ever did too. It was a greenback cutthroat from Colorado, and it was like I don't know, 16 inches maybe or something. And at the time, I just thought it was so awesome and amazing and incredible. And whenever I look at the photos of it, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe how I thought it was so great. But, everything's relative. It's a stepping stone.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I wish I could remember that guy's name, but there was another artist that was doing that.
Huh. Dude, like I like the ones that you do like sitting there on the boat. Like I've seen a few pictures of the ones you've done. Was it when you were down there and when you were at Tailwaters? Did you do one in Tailwaters? When you were at
Like one of the
Tailwaters?
sketches or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I did. Whenever I go home or travel, I always take my sketchbook with me. And I'm usually finding myself at Tailwaters if I stop in Dallas. And I've got my little watercolor sketchbook right here. I haven't done as many of these, like kind of watercolor stuff,
Oh, that's super
but
cool.
there's a Missouri River, I think, in
Oh, that's
Montana.
awesome.
But yeah, these are fun to do. I don't do the color ones as often. It's funny because I feel like I just had this stuff all set up, but it's just all in my junk pile of my table here.
Hey, it helps though. I like having that visual.
Yeah, and the journal stuff's fun. This is actually one I printed. I got to send to a buddy. But a
Oh,
lot of
that's
this kind of
awesome.
stuff, like the fly we used, the story of the day. Um, I definitely love doing that stuff. And if I go back and read an excerpt from a journal, I think I've got 5 of them now, and I'm actually working on printing them
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
publishing one of them, and maybe might do it like every 5 years. Is kind of the idea. But if I go back and pick a book and just rifle through it and find, I don't know, 2018. I can remember all the details within like the first sentence. And what it just proves is if you just would write down just a few thoughts and ideas, if you have a great night even with a friend in your backyard, you will forget all those details. You might remember fishing. Oh yeah, I remember us going out and fishing that night. But if you just write down a few facts and a few things, it all kind of just rushes back to you when you start reading that. And it's the most treasured thing I've ever done is keep those fishing journals. Now, they're mainly when I go travel. I don't write as many as when I fish here, and I should, and that kind of upsets me. Like I fished last night, and I probably should write that down. In fact, after we get off this, I'm probably going to. I need to do it. You've inspired me. But so doing that has been one of the best things I've ever done is keeping track of all my fishing trips and writing things down and then drawing little snippets of that.
Dude, yeah, I think it's pretty cool too how you do the like whenever you have a guest on your podcast, you do like the words and stuff like that, and you draw it.
Yeah.
That's super. I think you did one of Dave Matthews too.
Hmm.
That was really
Yeah.
cool. Like that stuff is so cool, dude. That like I
It's
haven't really
fun.
seen people do.
Yeah, it's fun. When you paint all the time, it's fun to actually just get out a pen and get messy. And I learned that from learning to draw, and I kind of did this on my own. I just started drawing with a Sharpie instead of a pencil. Pencil you can always erase, but a Sharpie you can't erase. So you have to work through the problem, and you have to more or less carve out your mistake and turn it into something and make it work. And that's the best advice I can give to someone that's learning how to draw is just start getting after it with a Sharpie or a marker, and you just put yourself in a situation where you can't erase it. And that's made me such a better artist and just drawer, if you will, illustrator. Is that one little thing?
I got you, dude. Like I
Yeah.
think the next question you kind of hit on this with like the kind of Pulp Fiction stuff earlier, but your Scarface with a trout and the Pulp Fiction with like the rainbow trout stuff became super
Yeah.
popular for you. Like, what
Yeah.
inspired you to merge like pop icons and fishing culture? And like,
Yeah. I don't. I don't know. The first one I ever did was that Pulp Fiction one, and the idea might have come, and I've tried to figure this out. The idea might have originally been that Banksy artist, where
yeah,
he had bananas or whatever, and I was like, oh my god, that's so easy. That could be them holding a fish. They both have guns, and why aren't they both could just be holding a fish like they just got off the river and they got a double? I can just picture those guys each nipping in some little hole and just each ripping a rainbow, and they're both showing off their rainbow trout. So that was the first one I ever did, and then Scarface might have been the second one, and then Predator. I mean, like a tarpon is such a like flats predator, and the idea of predator character holding a predator, and I was like, that's kind of what got everyone to start looking at my art. And what's funny is I was doing this other real art on the side, but these characters were the thing that was getting all the attention. And I was like, well, come on in the door, come look at my other art. I do other things too, and that's kind of what got everything started. And I want to say that was probably in the, I don't know, '07, '08, '09, maybe,
yeah.
when I lived in Atlanta. And that's kind of what was the spawn of starting Flood Tide Company as well.
Oh yeah, dude.
We, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you have any other pop culture ones uh on the horizon?
I'm not saying I've stopped doing them. I haven't stopped doing them at all. Whenever I get an idea, like I feel like I haven't done any. I just recently did. The most recent one I think I did was Baby Billy's Bonefish Bonkers.
Yep.
That's probably. I mean, now I probably do them once every 3 or 4 months. If an
I
idea
got you.
just pops in my mind, like I feel like all the characters from Righteous Gemstones need to be holding a fish,
Yeah.
but it has to be the right fish. Like it just can't be. To me, it's got to work. It can't just be one of them just holding something. Like I did Sid Bream, a few years back of him sliding a home plate holding a brim. Like it's just I don't know. It just needs to fit. It needs to be interesting. It needs to be funny. And there's a few other people that do those things, and they just don't pull them off. I don't think. I'm like, okay, well, anyone could have thought of that, but you need to dive a little deeper, and it needs to be super interesting and ironic and creative. Otherwise, it's just you might as well just kept it in your head.
Yeah. You a big
I'm
Righteous
just fuming.
Gemstones guy? Oh, my
What's
bad.
that?
You a big Righteous Gemstones guy?
Oh, it's hilarious.
I love Righteous Gemstones, dude.
It's so
Any
funny.
Anything Danny McBride has his hands in, dude, is so damn funny.
Yeah, and he lives here, and you can kind of see a trail of where he goes around here. There's always like some sort of sign thing by him. I had one run-in with him one time. I got to meet him, and I handed him my business card. And it had the Predator, on it, holding the
Yeah.
tarpon. And I go, come fishing with me sometime. And he looked at me and goes, man, is that the effing Predator holding a fish? I go, yeah. And he goes, I'll call you. And he never did.
That's freaking awesome. Dude, like,
Yeah.
Eastbound and Down is probably one of my favorite shows.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
So good. He'll come out with something new and fresh again soon, I'm sure.
I actually used to play men's league lacrosse against one of the dudes in Righteous Gemstones. I forget which one.
Oh, really?
Shoot. It was the long haired one.
Okay.
The super long haired one.
Is he the real creepy, strange, religious guy?
Yes, he is. He is.
He's what's his name's boyfriend or whatever.
Yep. I used to play men's league lacrosse against him on Wednesday nights.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But let's talk about your podcast, dude. How has it been like getting that started, dude? It's a grind.
Yeah, I probably am a lot more laid back than you are on yours. Like you seem to be kind of taking this pretty serious and being on top of stuff. That's just not how I am at all. I do mine more on me finding out a buddy in the industry is coming to town.
Okay.
And so I don't stack a bunch of episodes and release them in a timely fashion. If I get two people I know that, or whether they're into music, fishing, or art, that's kind of where my range is. I'll record it, hopefully in studio. I've never done this. I thought about doing the Riverside deal, and I feel like I need to because you can't always be lucky enough to have someone in here in the studio in Charleston. But so far, I have been lucky enough to do that, and it's a lot of fun once you get someone in here. Normally, I kind of know them a little bit, so there's a little bit of a background that makes it a little bit easier to kind of get the ice broken and kind of get going. But it's a lot of fun. It's just another outlet for me. It's probably more of a hobby for me than I'm really calling it something that I'm doing seriously.
I got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's Did you have one when you were working or when you had Flood Tide too?
Yeah. Well, we had one called Barely Live, which we still have it. It's just a matter of herding cats and getting these guys together. Like we're supposed to actually do one next week, and I will say we had the first podcast that got 3 or 4 people sitting around and just talking about fishing.
Yeah.
It was not instructional. It was you wasted 2.5 hours listening to it. Nothing good came from it, but we had a blast. We'd have fake characters like just all the different people you meet fishing or in a fly shop. And a couple of the guys worked in fly shops for a while as well. So we just had this huge, bank of all these ideas of fake characters and fake fishing commercials, old 70s commercials. And we treated it like a radio show. And ideally, we're talking about fishing, but if anything, we're just trying to have fun on it. And we've got, I think, 65 episodes, 60 to 65 episodes. It's called Barely Live. And it's just a train wreck. It's just, we have a good time on it. We always try to have one interview with someone that actually knows what they're talking about. But otherwise, it's 2.5 hours of just us having fun.
That's cool, dude. See, like, eventually I want to, like, get, like, a little panel together. Just, dude, like, kind of, we tried it when we went to deer camp. Like, all of us fished together, dude. Just kind of, like, sitting around, drinking beers and
Yep.
and just talking fishing. Dude, when I tried to
Yep.
do it at deer camp, dude, we were drinking beers at first, and then we started slugging beers, and it just got out of hand.
And we've done that too. We gets out of hand, and
That's what's
I'm
fun about
super
it.
fortunate. It's Mike Benson, and he's just a character in himself. Like he's an amazing person to have on the show because he's just loud. He can be obnoxious, and he's super intelligent. He's very smart. We've got Doug Rowland. That's just he kind of plays this airhead thing, which is just a total act, I think. But a lot of it is just he's authentic. We're just all authentic dudes, like, and that's what makes that show so successful. Is because we're not trying to be anything other than who we are,
Yeah,
and we have a blast doing it. And like you said, we get the beers going, and sometimes it gets a little out of hand.
yeah, dude. Like the one I did, we did it. We recorded the whole show, and I will we're sitting there like day after listening to it back. I was like, dude, we cannot put this on the internet, like
Yeah,
at
but the
all.
the thing is, I mean, maybe you should.
I
I don't
might.
know. Maybe you should because
I might have to. I
that's.
might have to do a
I mean,
lot of
that's
editing on it though.
well, and that's the one thing we said. We're not going to edit anything. Like this is going to be like it's a radio show. We're going to treat it like that's why we called it barely live because it wasn't live. It's 3 hours after we recorded it. We put it out there. I would just take the recording and put it up there. Now there was one time I did have to go in and edit one thing. There was a certain word that came out that was like, yeah, we're probably going to get rid of that word. But otherwise, we'll just keep it
Same thing.
raw and ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
you got to be careful with some stuff.
oh yeah, dude. Like that's what I do here though too. Is it's like 99% of the time. Like this is gonna be up at 7:30, and
Yep.
I just sit there, record an intro, record the ending after, and I just toss it out. I
Yeah.
haven't really had any
Yeah.
run-ins too bad, other
There
than
you
that one.
go.
But
And it's still sitting on the shelf.
yeah, it's still sitting on the shelf. I'm like staying away from that.
Maybe one day. Maybe one
Yeah,
day.
maybe one day. But let's see. I think just so like I think it's pretty cool how you're also in a band, dude. Like, or are in a band, correct?
Well, I am the band.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I'm the one that I'm just the one that kind of was like, guys, let's put a band together. Like, but we've got another guy, Jacob Skelton here that is Fly Fishing World lives here. He's a really good lead guitarist. I'm not. We got another guy that likes to fish. Old John Booker, he's bass player, and then Brooks DeBose, the drummer, and then we got a guy that just moved back up to Asheville named Jimmy. And when we can all get together and play, it's the whole herding cats thing too. We're all married, have kids, so whenever we can make it happen, we do it, and it's a blast. It's fun, and we've got original songs, which makes it cool. We're just now starting to kind of get comfortable with a lot of those. I mean, the thing about original music is it's never existed before, so you don't know how it's supposed to sound. So
yeah,
there's a lot of shaping and a lot of trimming down and figuring it out, which I'm not that good at yet. I'm learning how to be, but it's definitely a fun process. And this whole realm is definitely a hobby. Like it's not. No one's trying to make money off this. Like
yeah,
we'll play every now and then. They'll pay us a little bit, but that's really just to pay for the tab. But that makes it fun too, though. We're not grinding out there. We're not trying to make it work. We're just having a good
yeah.
time.
Yeah, did you played at the Holy City Tarpon tournament after party, didn't you?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think I saw like a video of that on Sean from Afterwork Fish Club's like Instagram story.
Yeah, yeah. There's a little snippet flying around. Now, the one thing I do in music, which is a lot of fun, is I build guitars, and that's another hobby thing
Oh, that's
too
awesome.
that I've turned into mainly donating to benefits like Captains for Clean Water, Baracho, an event down in Galveston, Texas. I've had a lot of fun with that, working with wood and sculpting guitar bodies and putting it all together to plug it in and play music with it is so cool. It's such a rewarding experience.
That's pretty cool, dude. Like that is
Yeah,
awesome.
it's fun.
Oh
I
yeah.
think funny enough, I'm shipping one of them. I got one of the guitars in here. I'm shipping it to Jackson Hole, Wyoming for the One Fly tournament.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah,
dang cool.
that's in a couple weeks. So that's getting shipped off today.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's sweet, man. But
it's fun.
I saw on one of your. I think I messaged you about this. I saw on one of your Instagram stories that you have a Boston Terrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
You have a Boston?
Yeah, he's back here. Hey, Ricky, Maverick. He's asleep back there, way in the back. Mav, hey, come here. Yeah, he's back there. There he is.
They're fun dogs.
Oh yeah, dude. I love him. He's the man.
Our,
So my
ours,
parents had two, and then we have him.
of course, they're doing some work outside my window here now.
It's all good.
Ours ears failed to launch, like they're floppy ear Boston.
Yeah, he's got one like that. Yeah, he's got one ear that flops.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, dude.
Lopsided.
But, yeah, dude, I love our Boston Terrier. I bring him into Bass Pro all the time. He just loves all the people.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's
they
one
love
thing
people.
I had to
At
ask.
least
Dude.
mine wants to jump all over everyone. Like that's all he wants is attention.
He does. He jumps all over everybody. But then, dude, like so I used to work at that Bass Pro, and everyone loves him. So they love
That's
to
cool.
come up to him, and they freaking
What's his name again?
Maverick.
Okay.
Yeah, his name's
We're
Maverick.
getting all kinds of weather flash flood warnings. I guess we're about to get it.
Oh, dude, we got it this morning. We got 3 inches of rain here this morning.
Okay, well, it's coming our way.
Damn. But you got any cool projects coming down the pipeline?
Nothing. I mean, I just finished the Field and Stream cover painting for the fall 25. I'd show it to you, but then they'd be mad at me. And then I've also got a garden and gun painting I did for an illustration about Steve Huff of him painting, awesome. And I'd show it to you, but they'll be mad at me for that as well. But this painting right here is going to be for the One Fly. That's painting that'll be along with the guitar, so they'll auction the guitar and the painting off together. It's funny because when I lived in Jackson, when the One Fly would come to town, it was kind of this get out of my town feel is what I had, because they'd kind of take over the fishery and they'd take over the fly shops, and it's a bunch of people that in my mind probably only fished once a year, and that's when they came to the One Fly. And part of that might be true, but it doesn't matter. These people, they do take over the town, they do take over the fishery, but they leave a lot of money that protects and takes care of a lot of the things that need to be done there. And I didn't see it that way when I lived there, but I see it now that I'm more involved with it. So I started getting involved with the One Fly out in Jackson about 5 years ago, and it's so rewarding because it's four of the best years I ever lived when I lived out there. And for me to be able to paint or make something that might make anywhere from 10 to 20 grand that goes straight to river habitat and just, maintaining riversides, and it's so cool that I can be a part of that, and I get to go out there. Like I get to go out there and spend 4 or 5 days fishing and seeing friends and that. So finishing that's the next priority for the next 3 or 4 days. And then after that, I've got some other commission paintings I've got to finish and get to work on. And we've also got a really cool show that I'm involved with at the Gallery for Seaweed this year here in Charleston in February, where we've got one of my favorite artists ever, Mark Cicino, and John Cobalt in Colorado, where Mark is painting the underwater scene, and I'm painting the above water scene, and John is doing a sculpture of what the fish might be doing after it gets hooked in my paint in Mark's painting.
That's sick.
So it's going to be cool. They're all going to be together in the show. We're doing 3 different ones, so 9 pieces total. 3, 3, and 3. So I'm super excited about that.
That's going to be sweet.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
I'll have to come through there when I'm down there.
Yeah, you're not far. Might as well.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a bonefish scene, a redfish scene, and a trout scene.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So I'm
sick.
excited about that.
But this is how I end all the podcasts. Is what are your 5 songs for the Trout Tunes playlist, man?
Yeah, so I put a little list together, and this is so seasonal or daily. It could change at any point. I've got Texas Sun. I've been listening to that. I love that song. Leon
What song?
Bridges and Texas Sun.
Oh yeah, got it.
Typical Situation by Dave Matthews.
I love Dave Matthews.
It's a good one. That's like the first song that I learned where I was like, okay, I got to learn guitar now. And then My Morning Jacket, Steam Engine.
Steam Engine. Got it.
And then Stevie Ray Vaughan, Ain't Giving Up on Love.
Got it.
And then Sturgill, One More for the Road.
I love Sturgill, dude.
Yeah.
Sturgill's the man.
Yeah, he's just taking over music right now, and I love it.
It's insane because it's cool because like he's starting to do what like the Grateful Dead did, where he just jams.
Yeah,
And he
3
played
hours.
he played a 3-hour show the other week.
He's got no pedals, no distortion. It's just a guitar and an ES-35 and a telly, and he just sounds so damn good.
Oh yeah, unbelievable. Dude, let's see.
Yeah.
I hope I put mine on there. I thought I did yesterday. Let's see. I'll
What's this list called on Spotify?
Oh, it's called the Trout Tunes playlist. Oh, I did do it. No, I didn't. Fuck. That's my. It's called Trout Tunes Season 1. I can send it to you.
Okay. I found Trout Tunes playlist. No, that's not yours though.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, just send her on out.
I'll send it to you. I'll pick 5 that I've been throwing in rotation these days. Let's see. Dude, my music tastes go so far. Dude, like one end of the spectrum to the next.
That's good though.
Dude, it's crazy.
That's good.
But
it's good to have options.
Oh yeah. Dude, like one day I could be listening to like rap music. The next day, like it's nuts.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
One of mine is Wish I Didn't Know Now by Toby Keith.
Okay. Yeah.
I like the version Ella Langley just did too.
Of that same song?
Yeah, dude, it's only on Apple Music though, which stinks.
Okay.
And then I'll do Fire on the Mountain, Grateful Dead.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's one I go on super hard.
I'm like
straight up benders on the Dead.
I mean, I'm like when I hear that, I'm like, oh, you mean the Marshall Tucker Band song, Fire on the Mountain?
Yeah, that's a good one too. I do too. Yeah. Marshall Tucker Band is playing here some point, and then Tedeschi Trucks is playing here. I think next week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then I'll do Dixie Chicken, Little Feat.
Yeah.
And then I'll do Ain't Life Grand by Widespread Panic.
Oh yeah.
There you go. I'll listen to all of that. I love Widespread Panic.
They're good. Yeah, they're finally starting to look a little old, but they still sound good.
Oh yeah, they do. Dude, so like, my little sister went to UGA. And it's kind of cool because it's like I was saying this to someone last week. You walk down the road and they got like a little walk of fame, and it's like Widespread Panic, Future Birds, who's another one I listen to a lot. And it's like they got them all down here. REM is on there. And just how
old
many
drive-by truckers.
Yep.
They're probably not on the street yet, but they will be.
Oh yeah, they will. Yeah, it's pretty
good
cool
stuff.
That's nuts how that's just like a hotbed for music.
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah,
never think
for
it.
sure.
Hotbed for music and college football.
Yeah,
But
it's good. It's same as like Austin, Texas, same kind of deal.
yep. How you thinking them Longhorns gonna do this year?
Yeah, I think I think Manning is still going to be. He's going to have a big learning season. I don't know that he's going to be going 12-0. I mean, I
Yeah,
see him learn. I see him losing 3 or 4 games.
I do too, man. Like the SEC, that's what's crazy about the SEC, man, is like any of these teams can show up and just smack anyone. Like
Yeah,
Vanderbilt can
it,
show up and give them a whooping in Austin.
for sure. Yeah,
But
it'll be fun to watch. I'm excited to watch it, but I don't know that we should be expecting a 12-0 season.
oh yeah.
9-3 or 8-4, more realistically.
Oh yeah, I see a lot of people like they're winning the Natty this year. I'm like,
No.
well, not
I mean,
sure about
it'd be
that.
great. I'd love that, but
Yeah,
let's
but
be realistic here. If they were still in the Big 12, it might happen.
yeah, that's true. They won a
Yeah,
Big 12 championship, that's for sure. I think, dude, but
yeah.
like, what's crazy, I do think it's going to come down to them in Georgia again, and
I
at
hope
least
so.
the SEC championship game.
Yeah, I hope so.
But
Because that was
that's
fun. Living in Georgia, I kind of became a Bulldogs fan, but it's
yeah.
hard. I can't be Texas and Bulldog fan anymore.
You ever been to Athens?
Yeah, but not for a game.
Dude, it's insane for a game, man. There's just nothing like Athens on a Saturday.
Yeah, I'd like to. Maybe
Oh
one
yeah.
day.
We went twice last year, and then this year we're going for the UNC Charlotte game. I think like the week before Thanksgiving.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because
Might as well.
my girlfriend was a huge Georgia fan before we even started dating, and her
Okay,
boss has season tickets, so he hands us the crappy game tickets once a
that's all
year.
right.
Yeah, so I'm like, heck yeah. I was like,
It's still
I'm
fun.
still down to go down there.
Yeah, absolutely. What is that? A couple hours from you? Two and a
Yeah,
half
it's only
hours?
like 2.5, 3 hours.
That's not bad.
Not at all. It's essentially all straight through South Carolina, and then it's it's like right over there on the other side of Greenville. It's essentially a extension of South Carolina.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
that's all I got for you today, man. Is there any
Well, cool.
thanks you want to give or shout anybody out?
Um, Not that I can think of right now. I appreciate the time though. Appreciate you putting me on this thing. So I'll definitely share it around and let the people have it.
Sounds good, man. I greatly appreciate you for coming on and giving me some time, brother.
Yeah, for sure. And just let me know next time you're in town.
Will do,
Come
man.
on by the studio and see the chaos that this here. We'll give a little spin around.
Sweet. Oh, dude. That's beautiful though. That's a cool little that's a cool gallery though, man.
Yeah, no, it's a great space. It's here at the refinery in Charleston, like right out that window that way is the music venue. So I can come here at night and open the window and just listen to live music going on outside.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
pretty sweet.
Definitely a neat deal.
Heck yeah, man. What's up, guys? That was Mr. Paul Puckett. What a really cool episode that was. Just to get like a different perspective, on the industry, man. Like, I don't know many people other than really Eric Estrada that are fly fishing artists, and I just think that's super cool. Um, like really, really cool. Um, but dude, big thank you to him for coming on. Carving out some time in his day to come on and shoot the shit with us, chop it up a little bit. Um, but just awesome all around dude. But thank you again, means the world. Uh, but we got a few more things before we wrap up the episode this week. Um, we are going to be at the Rise Festival tomorrow, recording some stuff up there in Asheville at the Wrong Way Campground, River Campground. Going to be a super cool event. Super, super cool. And then, my friend Sean over there at Afterwork Fish Club, do not forget to get your Red Spot Roundup cards for the next tournament. Super cool dude. Super cool event that he's running over there. And just an all around like awesome idea, some really cool companies are involved in that. Really, really cool. But, that's really all I got for everybody today. Before I go, like I said in the intro, you can save 10% on your Riversmith orders with the code Wrangler10. So go ahead and do that. Again, that's WRANGLER 10. Thank you guys for listening. Subscribe. Dude, and if you really feel so inclined to, leave me a review on any of the streaming sites, whether it's Spotify, Apple. That helps me out a ton. I greatly appreciate anyone who does do that, and anyone who doesn't. I really appreciate all of you either way, because I wouldn't be able to keep doing this if it wasn't for y'all. So, thank you. I will see everybody Tuesday. Have a great weekend.